Welcome back to this Let's Play of the original official campaign for Neverwinter Nights 2. Last time we recruited this dwarf. He's an idiot, but I guess, you know, he's a useful fighter. He's a chump, but we're making some progress on our know-it-all challenge. I'm halfway through the level 1 spells, 15 out of 29 cast, and, well, you know, it's gonna be a while before we get through all... Oh, hi, there's a bunch of wolves here. Before we get through all of them, but, you know, hey. I'm gonna cast Shield on myself. Shield is a fairly useful spell. It's not great, but what it does is it gives you essentially casts a +4 enchantment on your shield. If you don't have a shield, like me, it's just a +4 AC bonus. But if you're using a magical shield, it doesn't quite stack completely. So by the very end of the game, this is actually not going to be a useful spell for me, because this character will, assuming I don't prefer to stick with two-handed weapons, will always be using a mithril shield. The mithril shields in this game are, I mean, essentially they have no spellcasting penalty, because they have this innate ability to reduce the spell failure. Mithril large shields, that is. Mithril small shields, on the other hand, still give a spell failure penalty. Don't think about it too hard. There is one type of small shield that also doesn't have a penalty. And unfortunately, this type of large shield I'd like to use, which I can't craft for a long time, is an Umber Hulk shield, which gives immunity to mind affecting, but I guess I'm just going to have to do without.
What, demon? No screams for us? Maybe we should brand you. Maybe that'll loosen your tongue.
Leave me alone! I've done nothing to you.
Well, now Commander Valus will be happy to hear that, he will. It means his work here is all done. He can just give up the fort and go home.
Still, there's just the small matter of those bounties on bandits he posted. And a bandit with demon blood, well, there's no telling how much that's worth.
Of course, you could tell us where your camp is. Valus will pay more for that, he will. And we won't even have to butcher the lot of you.
I told you I'm not with those bandits. Or are you deaf and stupid?
Stupid? Here we were, thinking about letting you live. Now you've gone and changed our minds.
Deaf and stupid? Oh, Kelgar.
Hold on, look at this! A half-blood orc and a dwarf. Maybe friends of hers.
Alright, well, we look like an idiot, of course, since we're not wearing any armor and we have this helmet. I specifically avoided the leather helmet because it just looks like a football helmet. But anyway.
This don't concern you. We're soldiers from Fort Lock, hunting bandits.
That we are. Caught this demon trying to raid our camp, and we were about to deal with her.
You know, we can step up valiantly to her defense, or whatever.
You think you're going to stop us, are you?
You know, Valus might pay for 3 bandit bounties. He's not one for asking questions.
Especially about a demon, a runty dwarf, and a dirty harborman who doesn't know enough to keep walking.
Runty dwarf? I know you cowards aren't talking to me, or you'll be talking to my fist next.
Good enough for me. Let's kill them all and I'll sort out the tail later.
Alright. Well, these are upstanding officers of the law here. But we're just gonna have to kill them off. Yeah, like the fight with Kelgar, there's no way to not get involved. And,
looks like we have company.
You more or less must rescue her, and then you must accept her into your party. Even though, I mean, I guess she's not actively an idiot the way Kelgar is, but...
Some enemies over here.
Hey, stop wasting my potions, enemies. Oh, oops. Yeah, that's sort of the disadvantage to playing on this difficulty, is that sometimes you do get knocked down every so often.
Where did you come from? I mean, one moment I thought I was dead, and then suddenly you're here. And look at all this blood. Sorry if I sounded surprised. It's just, people don't usually help me out like that. Especially, People like you. You know, nice-looking people. Does that make me a damsel in distress? Oh, I hope not. I hate those women.
Since when are we nice-looking people? This is a half-orc and a, well, let's say none too savory dwarf. And, you know, there's a variety of ways you can get out of this conversation, but none of them will get out of it without recruiting her into your party. So...
Yeah, lucky me, huh? Better to be lucky than good. Someone told me that once. It's a good way to think about things sometimes, you know? I mean, once folks catch sight of me, usually it's the horns, they run in the other direction. And all those tales about tieflings being cursed don't help much either. I'm Nishka, by the way. I'm really glad you came when you did. Wasn't really sure how I'd get out of that one. Of course, they never would have caught me in the first place if that invisibility potion I'd bought hadn't been watered down. If I ever see that merchant again...
Alright, we've wasted enough time here.
Yeah. I guess you don't have any reason to stay. Look, thanks for saving me. Really, do you think I could join you? Just for now. I won't get in the way, I promise. It's just that I don't know how long I can survive on my own. And, well, I do owe you one.
Can't say I trust her. Tieflings will stab you in the back and run off with your purse the moment you drop your guard.
Yeah? Well, dwarves are squat, smelly drunks who'll chop someone in half just to show they're tough.
Oh, is that so? Well, why don't you step down here and say that again?
Okay, well, I agree with this response. This should be interesting. Well, it should be, but it isn't.
Oh, this'll be fair. I don't even have any of my gear. But please let me come with you. I owe you for saving me. And those soldiers will just try to kill me again if they catch me out here on my own. Thanks. I won't let you down, I swear. I think those Fortlock thugs have my gear locked away here.
Yeah, well, they're not
How
doing
can I
anything now. Now, Nishka is a tiefling, which means she will always be one level behind the rest of the party. At least one level behind any... I think she's the only party member with an effective character level penalty. And the advantage to being a tiefling is that you get +2 dex and +2 int, which are both useful stats for rogue, but, well, I don't know. Losing a level worth of hit points, especially with her... her con isn't bad, but she's very fragile and she doesn't have very good defense. And, well, let's just say I'm not a big fan of Nishka. I should probably find a bow for her. I'm going to clean up all this stuff and then head back to the inn and where we were last episode. Now that I have a thief, I'm going to pick up all the treasure that was upstairs in locked boxes, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back here at the inn. We can talk to Gira, and you can try it. You can turn down her reward for morality, for good points, but there's not really any advantage to being more good or more evil. It doesn't really have a whole lot of effect on the game. I'm just going to do it for the sake of doing it, and because I'm turning down a reward of all 25 gold. Before I move on, I want to go talk to the innkeeper here, and it's 145 gold for a set of chainmail. Well, I'll hold off. We're going to be recruiting another party member fairly shortly who's going to need some armor. She doesn't actually come with any because she's an idiot. But I'll meet you back on the world map. When we actually go to Highcliff, we'll get it's not really a random encounter, but it's a fixed encounter the first time you try and travel there. I'm not going to do it in this episode because it sets off a long chain of events that it'll just take too long to fit into one episode. So we'll cut this episode a little short, and see you next time when we recruit our last basic party member. The only one who I would actually choose to include in the party if this were real life and I were actually calling the shots, because it seems like our party members don't like each other very much, and that results in some quandaries when you start running into influence problems where some of the decisions you make will cause you to gain influence with one character and lose influence with another. Later in the game, you can actually choose which party members you bring and kind of avoid those issues, but for now, we're kind of stuck with just one or the other type decisions. Anyway, see you next time when we recruit our last party member, and then we're going to go back and recruit and work on all of the side areas I've been skipping. Some of these things I'll just do off screen because they're just boring. But We'll see you then.